Hello, I'm Christina. Welcome to my channel. Thanks to brothers and sisters like you, I got some new equipment in today and a little bit more coming soon, so we might even be able to have a better picture. But check out this lighting. It's very bright. Has some colored screens that go over it, and I'll figure that out soon. But thank you to the brother who sent that to me from Wisconsin. All my love, and thank you to everyone who supports this channel. Don't forget you can like, subscribe, comment, share, links in the description box, all that good stuff. So, which I'd like to get to today's end time prophecy headlines that have just been jumping off the page. And wouldn't you know it, a lot of them have to do with water, but it's not just water, but how it's interacting with our earth and how everything is getting chaotic together. It's all connected, right? So, hello, friendly apparition, M. Max, Sam King, Daryl Calhoun, Patty, and Clarissa. So grateful to see you. Hello, Chris Bevan. All right. Well, thank you all for being here so much. I really appreciate that. I love you guys so much. I do. Awesome. So let's get started, shall we? Okay. Now, the first big thing I want to talk about briefly is there is a lot of chatter about this April 8th solar eclipse that's coming up, which I know is not necessarily about water, but it is in the news. And, you know, I think it's worth a look see. But there's this article, it says total solar eclipse April 2024, 10 of the biggest cities within the path of totality. So, Montreal, Canada. You see San Antonio, Texas is one, Dallas, Fort Worth, Metroplex, Texas, Austin, Texas, Indianapolis, Indiana, Victoria de Durango, Mexico, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Torreon, Mexico, Mazatlan, Mexico. That's what that list is looking like. April 8th, everybody's going crazy over it. They say that about 1.5 million visitors are expected to a region with the largest selection of hotels anywhere in the path of totality. Okay. But that was under the Dallas Fort Worth little article part. Okay. But let's get to the fun stuff. All right. It starts with an article that says, sudden and rare change in Mars' atmosphere raises possibility of similar occurrence on Earth, scientists say. These are all headlines from this week, okay? Nearly 1 year ago, Mars' magnetic shield and atmosphere swelled to 3 times its usual size, raising the possibility that a similar phenomenon could occur on Earth in the near future, according to science. Recently uncovered by scientists, this rare occurrence was attributed to a gap or void in the charged particles constituting the solar wind emanating from the sun. Similar expansions have been observed on Earth before and may happen again soon, according to LiveScience.com. Next article is titled Beyond the Hype, Sudden Stratospheric Warming. Stratosphere is part of the layers of our atmosphere, right? So behind them worrying about Mars, is there any evidence that something is going on with our atmosphere? Well, yes. This is just one article of many that have been coming out in previous months that let you know that something just isn't right with the air, and what goes on with the air affects the land and vice versa and the water. So the atmosphere is definitely something to keep an eye on, as well as you right now are experiencing a lot of flooding and such from all the water that's in the atmosphere right now. Okay. Rochester, New York, I think is where this article came out. Every winter, a new hype word is christened for winter weather. We all remember the polar vortex. This year, it's sudden stratospheric warming, which, believe it or not, has a close relation to the polar vortex. There's a lot of complicated science behind how this works. We know for some of you, the who, what, when, where, and especially the why is why you clicked on this. We recommend you start at the top and work your way down. Okay, cool beans. There are lots of ways this type of event can occur. Most focus on weakening or even reversal of the direction from west to east to west of the stratospheric polar jet. We'll discuss two ways this can happen. Well, okay, they've got wave induced sudden stratospheric warming and weakening of the stratospheric polar vortex. The article goes on for a while, but you can see not only were scientists worried about it, stuff is going on currently. Now, when it gets to the water, we were talking about in general recently about how we need to watch uh, the coasts. Okay. Well, this article says almost the entire East Coast is sinking. Subsidence is fast becoming a problem near impossible to ignore. As many as 95% of the counties along the east coast of the U.S. are slowly sinking, according to a new study published on Tuesday. Though they are descending at just a millimeter or two per year, the sinkage adds to a growing list of hazards caused by rising seas that puts millions of people at risk of flooding and displacement. And see, what a lot of people may not remember is that during Harvey, right here in Texas, a few years back, it rained so much that it sank our city 2 full inches. It might have been 4, but I know 2 for sure. It's been a while. So it may only be sinking so much at a time, but anything can accelerate that from above or below. Does that make sense? And we have a lot of waves that have been crashing in on California's coast that they're calling the return of the king tides, right? And I'm just wondering if anything crazy is going to happen in the Pacific again this time. I mean, it may be unrelated, but I did notice the waves came crashing in, and then those earthquakes started. I'm just a little watchful. And my theories may be proven wrong sometimes, like maybe there is no connection, but I still watch anyway because a good scientist will rule out the hypothesis or confirm the theories, right? That's science. Alrighty. So, that's the East Coast. And then they've got like the world's top 10 sinking cities in the world. You should check those out. Now this is also really concerning because it's not just the East Coast. Nope. The Arctic's toxic underbelly. Researchers discover dangerous concentrations of methane beneath the permafrost. Now, I've been saying for years that there was something wrong below the surface of the Arctic and the Antarctic especially the Antarctic. For come here. No, don't complain. You know you wanted it. You good? Sorry, you guys. If I don't give him a hug, then he won't stop bugging me. All right? You good? Yeah? You ready to go? Okay. You know how cats are. If you want to pet them, then they don't want you. But if you're ignoring them, then they jump over here. So be good. Be good. All right. So back to the Arctic. Okay. Now, the Arctic has a toxic underbelly, and they're worried about the concentrations of methane beneath the permafrost. And we've been hearing reports of permafrost in a lot of places melting, and it releases methane into the atmosphere when it does. But researchers in Norway decided to take a peek below the Arctic's permafrost after they heard bubbling noises. News.com has learned that when they did, they found concentrations of methane gas lurking there that could spell trouble. Stop it for world climate. Scientists in Svalbard, a Norwegian archipelago that is home to the planet's northernmost town, discovered that large amounts of methane were trapped beneath the permafrost, and if released, it could contribute significantly to global warming. I imagine that would blow their 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius barrier out the water if that melts. And who's able to stop that? The drillers heard a bubbling sound coming from the well, so we decided to have a look. Yep, they had alarms that were triggered for methane. The article reads on, but I don't want to get, like any copyright or plagiarism things. Just give you all the meat of some of this. Is there anywhere else that we might be seeing water problems? Yes, Great Lakes. I think Wisconsin just had an earthquake. Ohio had a little earthquake around there. I've been seeing some activity in the New England area and the Great Lakes area. And I've seen it over the years, but it was so little at first and so far apart. Now it's like every week or two, you'll see another one. Every week or two, it's definitely increased. But it says Great Lakes ice season off to slowest start in 50 years of records. Why that matters. Lake ice concentration is off to a slow start, triggering harrowing rescues for fishermen who have ventured onto unsafe ice sheets. And as some of you, what was it, Washington, Oregon, and the Great Lakes area, there was two of you that were letting me know, yeah, it's not so great with the snow this year, and this article is definitely proof of what you say, which I didn't not believe you or anything, but I'm just saying here's your validation, It says it's the slowest beginning to ice formation in 50 years. It is still only the very beginning of the ice season, but the 50-year average ice concentration across the 5 lakes for January 1st is 9.45%. There's no ice at all on Lake Erie or Lake Ontario. Now, that might change because we've been having some winter storms coming through, and it's about to get super cold. Like Tuesday during the day here in Houston, we're going to have 18-mile-an-hour winds, and it's going to get down to around 30. And then a few days later, we're going to have a 26-degree day or two. Let me check that out real quick. And more 18-mile-per-hour winds. It's crazy. So if it's getting cold like that for us, oh, it changed again. It changed again. Okay, so now it can change. Now it's going to be 31. 31. It was supposed to be 29 on Tuesday too, so I don't know how it's warming back up to 30 or 31, but with the wind, it could easily feel like 26. And I guess it's subject to change, but I don't believe it'll be any warmer than 31, and that it could easily dip below 30 on Tuesday and Friday here in the Houston area. Let me say hello to everybody real quick. Judy, Clarissa, Dan, hello. Thinking yep, aliens attacking in Miami. That's right. Oh, I know. I saw, but wasn't that the cup that like was in a burning car and it still had ice in it with water? Okay, Clarissa, this weekend we're expecting lows in the teens, highs in the 12. Ooh, no. I actually got a little air tire inflator this time so that I can shove all the water out of my pipes before a freeze this time, because I don't want to have to pay repair money for everything's houses. No, no more. It's always when the freeze happens and there's some water in there that I just can't get to, but if I can shove it out of there somehow, and I think I can now. What do they say? Plenty of rain in the fall means plentiful harvest. It depends. It depends. It depends. It really does. Everything has got to have a balance to it. Too much, I always said too much anything can be a bad thing. Like when you've had a drought for a long time and then it rains a lot, then the ground is so concrete that the water kind of just washes off the surface, really. It doesn't soak in. It was just, and as an example, got plenty of sweats in case the power goes out. See, I think about that too. I've got my Mr. Buddy heater, I'm getting my batteries charged up, just things like that. Yeah. Yeah. And then hurricane season comes. I mean, with the water events the way they are all over the world, I just wonder what this year is going to bring. But they seem to have been going more east than to Texas this last year, and more so to the east over the years. This is my east side right now. North American Rift runs right through Missouri. See? That's right, Clarissa. That's right. And then when you think about the Mississippi coming up through there at some point too, kind of like a fault line crossroads. Okay. All right. Let's get to see everybody bundle up. All right. But now, okay, so we've got a low amount of snow in some areas, a lot going on, sinking cities. But in England right now, it is not fun for them. They said this title says nearly 400 flood warnings and alerts in place as rivers reach record highs. They're not in any drought. They don't have any problem getting down their Mississippi River. But nope, it says nearly 400 flood warnings and alerts are still in place across Britain as some rivers have reached record high levels. More than 1,800 properties have already flooded amid the persistent rainfall, but the Environment Agency said that this is not the end, as further incidents are expected in the next 5 days. Buildings will flood and there will be travel disruption. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Come here. Groundwater flooding is also possible in the south of England, Yorkshire, and I think that's pronounced Humber. Could be Humber. Anyway, on Sunday, 192 flood warnings and 207 flood alerts were in place in England, with one warning in Wales. Like, you're breaking my concentration. Okay? All right. On Sunday, 192 flood warnings, 207 flood alerts were in place, with one warning in Wales at Tendy as the forecast was largely dry but cold. Catherine Smith, flood duty manager at the EA, said significant flooding impacts are still expected over the next few days across parts of the River Thames in Oxfordshire, as well as the River Trent near Nottingham and the River Severn, including Gloucester. All right, there's always more to these articles to read most of the time. Sometimes they're really short, but if you type in the titles, you can find them pretty easy and read the rest of it, because like putting those links down, that's a lot of work in the description box. But the last one here is about the king tides returning to San Diego coastline. They called it a cosmic phenomenon. King tides returning to San Diego coastline. The gravitational forces of the moon and the sun will once again draw in some of the highest tides of the year next week. Expected to return to San Diego's coastline on Thursday, January 11th and Friday, January 12th. The first king tides of 2024 will be pulled inward with heights up to 7 feet, according to Sea Grant, California. The first king tides will be pulled inward with heights up to 7 feet. This comes shortly after a period of high surf advisories, severe coastal closures last week, as well as damage to local piers and other disruptions along local beaches. Large waves up to 12 feet tall with sets up to 18 feet pounded Southern California for days. Unlike high surf, which is created as strong winds blow directly on shore, king tides are a result of how far away the sun, moon, and earth are from each other. It is Thursday. Okay. I don't know what that sound was. Anyway, this alignment caused an increase in the gravity. So there's that. All right. That is to know what you think about this picture. I want to know if anything's been buffering for you. What do you think about the lighting? Is it too bright? Let me see here. Look. Got this control here. Maybe that's a little bit better, right? Oh, also want to let y'all know, Veronica Mormon's birthday is tomorrow. So wish her happy birthday. So if she sees this, she'll know that she got some love for her birthday, right? Right? It'll be good. Yes, like in the days of Noah. Yes. I didn't know about the bad weather in England. I better call Baldy's Pie Shop. Yeah, yeah. It's never hurt. They probably already know. Hello, Scrappy Dappy Doo. It's good to see you. Hello, Carol. Always, always glad to see everybody. Yes. Um, I'm looking to do a couple of things this month. Well, hopefully this week. I want to redo a video, like actually make a video of my near death experience to help. I had testified in a video on this channel when I first started. I was just out the grave. I was super, super skinny. And I was doing the best I can. But now I've got, oh, some of my wherewithal and my abilities to work through a computer and some of these programs now. And I think I should do that. But also, while I'm working on that, I want to soon talk to you guys about what is known as the God complex. Okay, and this is super important because Bible prophecy teaches us that there will be false Christ. I did not know there would be so many false brides, but there are. But this is a level of Jezebel narcissism that is probably the most dangerous. And it's something we need to talk about because it's not just recognizing a narcissist. It's preventing you from A, being deceived, and B, from ending up in some cult because somebody needs admiration. Okay? But understand, when it comes to the God complex, it's not just for cults. I mean, you can see this with doctors. You can see this with a lot of accomplished people. You can find it in people that have no accomplishments whatsoever. A God complex. It's very serious, but it is something that we'll have to really dive into, I think. Indeed. Hello, Robin. Let no man deceive you. That's right. And I've been hearing a lot of predictions for 2024. I haven't gotten any. I've had my instructions up to this point, and I know what to look for. When I get a word, I always let you know, even if it's not to be praying into these little bowls or jars. I'll give you that. But as for now, I'm watching everything that I know is coming. It's steadily building. All the evidence is there, so we take those things, not just from my visions, but from Bible prophecy, from the headlines, from God, right? And in the meantime, I just want to say, just there's a lot of talking out there. There's a lot of people talking. Okay, sometimes it's just best to shut it all down. All the predictions from people, everything, just shut it down and be still and know that He is God. He is still God. All right. You don't have to have all the answers right now. Right? You just need God. And He'll get you through every day. All right. But just be still. Don't necessarily listen to everything. Be sure to test that spirit. And if you come across somebody that makes you feel like you should be punished for asking questions, and that is a major red flag. But that and more we'll talk about in a soon upcoming video, right? Because now that everybody is off of vacation, I have more time to spend with you. All right. One last check of the comments. Again, I want to thank you for everything. And plus, yes, I do. I hope y'all could see the video, that there's not too much buffering. Veronica, happy birthday tomorrow. It's her happy early birthday. I'm so glad you got to see that. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, that was so sweet of you guys for her. Praise God. I love it. All right. All right. All right, you guys. I love you. I hope you liked this much, much better. I do. I love it. And just thank you, brother, for sending this to me. He's sending me a camera soon. So hopefully we'll finally get what we've been trying to get this whole time, is a decent video, a decent live for you guys, right? I love you. God bless you. I will talk to you soon, all right? Bye.